Saturday night's alright. Saturday night's alright. Movie Town Girl.
What a great tune, Carnivali, performed by Steve Carnivali.
Thank
It's spelled
you.
slightly differently. That was your earlier single, Movie Town Girl. What a great song that was. But Steve joins us in the studio. Thank you so much for coming in, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
To talk about your brand new single, which we're going to play in a moment.
Oh, you're awesome. You are awesome. It's well worth the £50 that I've just paid you.
That's very kind of you. I wish you hadn't mentioned it. Now, 3 things have happened since I last met you some months ago. Of course, you released Movie Town Girls, which wasn't a hit, but nonetheless, a lot of people enjoyed it, didn't they?
Well, it was voted best reggae single of the year by two separate entities. It's clocked up over 250,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, so not bad.
It was trending in Zimbabwe. And it's led me to where I am now, which is doing Butterfly Girls with an amazing video, because I went to Zimbabwe to do the Movie Town Girl video, and that sparked a lot of interest. So now the Butterfly Girls video will be like nothing I hope anyone has ever seen before.
Well, we'll talk about the new single in a moment, but the video for the last one, where you, as you mentioned, you went to Zimbabwe. I mean, I know you had your ups and downs when you were there, didn't you? But it was an experience, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because as I just told you off air, I actually had surgery like a month before I went to Zimbabwe, so I was very nervous. And then it involved a lot of running through jungles and stuff, and then I collapsed in mud. And I was worried for my health, but it was, the Zimbabwean people were so friendly, and it was just a wonderful experience being on my own in a different country and utilising and producing a video with the local people. You know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It shows your commitment. Now, I mentioned 3 things that happened. The first one, of course, was the single being released. A couple of other things I want to mention. You said when you came in last time that you'd filmed Casualty and it hadn't been shown. Has that now been broadcast?
I think it was... I never watched myself on TV.
Do you not?
No. It was on in January.
Oh, right.
But I tell you something else that amazing happened. It was on TV 2 weeks ago. I was on the 1% Club.
That's the third thing I was going to mention. Yeah, and you got a plug-in for your song, didn't you?
And yeah. So I got Lee Mack. Obviously, he's a first-class comedian. Kudos to Lee Mack. But I got to mention Movie Town Girl.
And they kept it in the programme?
And they kept it in the programme, and it went out. And then I got all these messages saying, Movie Town Girl on TV, Movie Town Girl on TV. And then I looked at the views on YouTube, and overnight they'd gone up by 10,000, and loads of people had left messages saying, saw you on the 1% Club last night. You were amazing.
Do you know, I'm going to have to catch that up. Do you know what date it was broadcast on?
Oh, I don't.
I must search for that, because I haven't watched every episode, but I watched about half of them, and I didn't see you on there. What's it like being, for people that don't know, it's a show. Well, how many people is it? 100 that start?
It's 100 people.
And they're whittled down through a series of...
one.
It's not actually general knowledge. It's more sort of logic puzzles, isn't it?
It's a lot of puzzles.
How long did you last on it? How many rounds?
How long did I last? Do you know, I went in it. I mean, I see myself as a winner. I've overcome so much adversity. I really wanted to get to the end. But with the 1% Club, you get one wrong question and you're out.
Yeah.
And would you believe, Steve, I went out on a question about Africa. And it's really mind-boggling. So, and I filmed the video to Movie Town Girl in Africa. So I went out at the 35 or 40% question. And then would you believe I would have got everyone right after that? But it's easier when the pressure's not on.
Exactly.
When the pressure's on, you can see all these cameras, all these lights. Yeah. You've got Lee Mack asking the question. And I had this really loud Liverpudlian woman next to me who'd gone out very early. And she just kept chatting all the way through, bright and bubbly. And I was like trying to concentrate.
How long does it take to film? Because the show's about an hour, and obviously there's ad breaks.
It was a whole day.
Yeah, because there's a lot in it, isn't there?
But Lee was like entertaining us through all the breaks, through all the questions.
He has a lot of banter with the contestants, doesn't
he? Yeah. And he totally. My brother says to me, you were totally done by Lee Mack on ITV, and it was broad nationally, because my brother likes putting me down at every opportunity.
What a meanie.
I know, he is.
But you are a winner, because you won, was it on Letterboxd you won, didn't you?
With my brother.
That's right, you won £1,000 on there, didn't you? So you are a winner.
And can I go through all my wins? Because I only ever remember my defeats.
Well, so I know you were on the chase and you nearly won, but
I lost by a second.
Yeah, which was I watched it. It was really exciting. So what else have you won then?
Oh God! So I won the Boss. So I won quite a lot of money. That's with Susan Coleman.
Yeah.
I won Cheap, 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 which was filmed in Bristol with Noel Edmonds.
What did you win on that?
£2,500.
Blimey. What getting involved and being a contestant on these, is it quite a rigorous process to get selected?
Yeah, very
or
rigorous.
Or would they take anyone?
Do you know what? I think you'd be a prime. You got, what a backstory you've got.
My wife keeps saying, when I retire, because I'm a bit compromised at the moment, I'm going to go for it. You obviously enjoy doing those shows.
I love it, but you should do it. We talked about this last time.
Yeah.
I think with your knowledge, obviously you know about all the stuff you talk about, Blame It on the Boogie was written by Michael Jackson, but not the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it could come up, couldn't it?
That could come up,
Blimey. You've also done a little bit of acting over the years. We mentioned Casualty. You've sort of dipped your toe in that, haven't you?
Would you believe the lead girl in the Butterfly Girls video, who's also called Ellen, the lead girl in the movie Town Girl video was called Ellen, but I met her filming a program called Industry, and we were filming a scene opposite each other, and we're pretending to be having meals, and I said, I'm filming, I've got a new single coming out. She says, I do a little bit of acting. I goes, how do you fancy, she was a very attractive girl, warm personality. We gelled straight away, and I thought, there's a chemistry here. You're going to look great on screen. And I said, you want to be in my video? She said, yeah. And then about 2 months later, I met the director, a guy called Jason Flinter, who's very talented, and he said, who have you got in mind for the video? And the first person I phoned was Ellen, and she said, yeah. And then I got a group of wonderful girls, Butterfly Girls, to also be in the video.
Well, I've only seen a clip of the video. We'll talk about that more in a moment. Let me just give people a bit of your backstory, because you are local, born at St Michael's Hospital, went to Lockleys Comprehensive. Your dad died tragically at young age of 51 of a heart attack. Was that out of nowhere? He just died, didn't he?
Out of nowhere, yeah.
Terrible
Absolutely.
business. You yourself qualified as a nurse, 1990. You specialise, I know, in autism. You are a very caring individual. You've got a great warmth to you.
Thank you.
The people you deal with, they must appreciate that side of you.
I think that the key thing I always say when I'm working with people, people with autism, they all have parents, and I'm looking after their parents' most precious possessions. They're not people, they're people's precious possessions. And you have to look after people in that way, and look after them like they're your own flesh and blood. Well, definitely.
I know, although obviously you're focusing on music, but you still work as a nurse, and you've done that for many years. As far as music go, you played in bands, you performed solo, you're a published songwriter. We were talking about your mum, actually, when the record was on a moment ago, because you were very close to your mum, and sadly she passed away. But she said you were going to be a star, didn't she?
That's one of the last few words she said to me on her deathbed. So she said, Steve, I said, Mum, I want you to give me a message, before you go, give me a message, because, I knew time was running out. And she said, just be a star. So... Well, I'm going to do my best, holding back the tears here, but this is all good stuff. This is life, we've got to deal with life, and I'm doing my best to make her proud, definitely.
Well, you mentioned you had surgery before you went off to do the video to your previous single. You went to Zimbabwe. You had life-saving surgery, and also, you've had so many ups and downs. You lost your best friend to cancer. And you decided to focus more on the music because of all these events that had happened in your life. And you thought, although you're still working in nursing, you're putting a lot of effort into your music, and it shows in the quality of the stuff you're producing. And you've been working with Pete Rowley at Attic Attack Studios, working together on tunes. And you've got this new single called Butterfly Girls. And you were trying to explain to me what a butterfly girl is. How would you articulate what it is?
Well, the first butterfly girl I ever met was my mum, who carried me in her tummy for 9 months. So the opening part of it is about her. The other butterfly girls I've met is when I've come round from surgery. I've been in a recovery room after life-saving surgery, and I've got nurses holding my hand and telling me, everything's going to be okay. So a butterfly girl, I think, is anyone also who a butterfly girl goes from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's anyone who's been through hardship and can come out the other side and grow wings. A butterfly girl is just a wonderful women in the world that we all know. They're all amongst us. They're all flying around us, and sometimes we don't know who they are, but they do reveal themselves to us.
And is it a brand new song in terms of chronology, or is it a song you wrote some time ago?
I wrote this, would you believe, 2 days after those girls, after the life-saving surgery, before I went to Movie Tango. I wrote it, I started writing it about those two nurses, and then it turned into, well, it's also about my mother, but then it's also about, I go on Facebook, and don't know if you're on social media, you see so many posts by especially women who are more open with their feelings. They've hit a real low, and they are writing things, and you think, I need to give you some support, so you do. And then you see their post later, and they've got out of whatever they've got out of. And those are the butterfly girls, the people that hit struggles, but who are able to get out of it. And this also applies to guys, of course. A lot of us guys, this butterfly guys, we can hit rock bottom, and we've got to hit rock bottom, but then we've got to get our wings, and we got to fly out.
I'll tell you what, Steve, there's a lot more depth to the lyrics than I initially thought when I heard this song. Just tell me in broad terms a bit about your musical background. When did you first start writing songs? Were you quite young?
Probably. I used to tape I don't know if you used to do this, but I used to tape the top 40.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always had music in me. And then I used to think I could sing, and I'd go to a singing teacher. She said, Stephen, I don't want volume, I want melody. And I thought, Stephen, you can't sing. And I thought, oh, God, I can't sing. And then I had about 100 lessons with her. And then in the end, she goes, okay, we've come a long way, haven't we? Because when you first came in, you couldn't sing a note. But it's always been in me. I love music. I was actually having a conversation with my Ghanaian friend last night. The two things that unite people in the world is music and smiles. Smiles are universal, and music is universal. So I just think it's a real bonding thing.
When you were younger, were you in bands then?
Yeah, I sang with quite a few bands.
What style of music were you singing?
There's some embarrassing moments on YouTube. I hope nobody looks.
What style of music are we talking?
Oh, it's sort of, I don't know. It was like, I was influenced by 80s synth bands. So there's a lot of that sort of sounds. But now, I don't know. I mean, Butterfly Girls has got that tropical calypso feel. And then me and Pete and someone else were making the next single, and that's going to go more along the Afrobeats genre, which is really big. And I got to say, listening, you played great songs. You played George Michael, Whitney Houston, and you played Dua Lipa. Yeah. And I was thinking, this guy plays great music.
Well, you're bracketed in with that as well.
I know, and I thought, I am so honoured to be on Steve Yapsley's show and listen to the quality of music he's playing.
Now, there is female vocals on the song. Who have you got singing on there with you?
Oh, I've got a lot of people. I've got someone called Charlotte Sherman. I've got her mum, Carol Sherman. I've got Cher Carter, and I hired a choir to sing the final four lines of the song. I Want to Fly Across Your Sky is a choir. That's fun. I gave Pete Rowley a nervous breakdown because we ended up with 5 people. He said, I've never recorded a choir before. I said, well, you are going to. And would you believe I almost had Take That choir on this song, but they were just slightly too expensive.
We should mention that you're doing all this without a publisher, without a record label. You're financing it yourself. You are committed, aren't you?
I'm totally committed. Is this a good time now to ask for all of these things? If there's a rich benefactor out there, a rich publisher, a rich, what was the other word you said?
Gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head. But
yeah.
Someone who wants to help you lift yourself a little higher.
I mean, you can hear the passion, you can hear the commitment. And Butterfly Girls, the video, I'm going to push it like I've never pushed
you've sent me a
anything
clip.
before.
I could only watch a clip. I don't know if you sent me the whole video, but it wouldn't download. But the clip I watched looks great. I mean, just tell me briefly about the video.
So I met a guy called Jason Flinter who runs Bristol Music Industry Network. Pete Rowley put me in touch with him. He said, Jason does videos. So I met Jason. He heard the song Butterfly Girls, and like yourself, he said, Steve, this is an amazing song. And I said, is it? Because you never know. You never know yourself if it's a good song. He said, I want to do a video for this. I said, what are you going to do? Because I said, how I work is I give it to someone and then they're in charge. I don't want my ego to get in the way. You leave it to the professionals. He goes, I want to make a video that no one's ever seen before. So when people see the video, and it's going to come out at 12 o'clock tomorrow, the 3rd of June.
Is that the official release date?
Official release date. Everyone I've shown it to says, I've never seen a video like this before. So, it's a mixture of a lot of things, real life, the latest technology in artificial intelligence, and you get to see me in all different forms, and you get to see girls flying, and you get to see girls as butterflies. So it's quite groundbreaking.
Well, the clip I've seen looks fantastic. I look forward to seeing the whole thing. What about an album? I mean, you've released a couple of songs now. It's early days, really, for this project of yours, but will there ultimately be an album?
There will ultimately be an album, and I was thinking about it. I'm going to start doing live stuff very soon.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You've got experience as a live performer, but, not in this new role.
Not in this new role, but I'm determined to get a band together. And, on Butterfly Girls, you've got an amazing guitarist, bass player, drummer, marimba player, of which I've not met any of them. Because,
what instrument do you play?
Oh, I just sing. So
you don't play an instrument at all?
I can play a little bit of piano.
So how do you write the songs? You do it with Pete Rowley at the studio then, do you?
I can write really good melody top lines and basic chords, and then Pete will then...
He works his magic.
He works his magic.
Yeah.
And then we employ other producers as well. And before you know it, it's gone through about 5 people. Oh, one person I have to mention who helped me stylize this song, and she'll kill me if I don't mention her, is Marcella Detroit of Shakespeare's Sister.
Wow.
Because she runs a songwriting class on, worldwide, but luckily she's a friend of mine. So she gave me a lot of how do I finish the song. So she said it needs lifting at the end. She said, I don't quite know how you do it. And she said, you need to have more positive lyrics here. So we got a string section in at the end, and then I rewrote the lyrics, and we messaged back and forth, and she told me, yeah, Steve, you've got it. Well, so, Marcella Detroit, thank you very much. You're a star.
It says here, so this is official, Butterfly Girls is a summery, reggae-tinged pop track with a Carnivali celebration anthemic feel, ready for summer 2024. Now, you can find out more about Steve, and I should mention that your stage name is Carnivali, but it's spelt slightly different, so I will spell it. Search for this online, Carnivali. But basically, if you put Butterfly Girls into Google tomorrow, it'll pop up presumably, won't it? And you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You're everywhere, aren't you?
Everywhere.
Well, we're going to play the track now. I believe this is the first ever play on British radio, perhaps in the world. Sell it to us. Why should we buy this tune, Steve?
I think it's one of the greatest summer songs you'll ever hear, and I think it's really uplifting. And I think if you're feeling low, this will put a smile on your face. And this is for all the women out there in the world, all the guys who are feeling low, all the mothers, all the lovers, all the winners. Come on, be the best version of yourself you can be. And if this song helps lift you up, then I've done a good job. And if one person likes this song, I feel blessed.
And
thank you.
Made from start to finish in Bristol by your fair hand.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear you play it. Butterfly Girls.
Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. what you got inside that shining heart. Hey, what you got inside that silver heart. Hey, what you got inside that shining heart. Hey, what you got? 1, 2, 3, go! Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. What you gonna do when neon lights shine over you? Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your joy around the world. Hey, hey yo. Hey, hey yo.
The moment's mine, so I've got to try to spread my wings across the sky. I know I can make it because I've got you. I'm gonna fly like a butterfly.
Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. What you gonna do? We know the world's a stage for you. Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your joy around the world. What you gonna do when neon lights shine over you? Hey, hey yo. Hey, hey yo. Hey, hey yo. Hey, hey yo. 1, 2, 3, go! Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your wings around the world. What you gonna do? You are reborn life anew. Butterfly, butterfly girls, you spread your joy around the world. What you gonna do? We know the world's a stage for you.
I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a winner, and I wanna live my best life. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a winner, and I wanna fly like a butterfly.
I'm so high, I wanna fly across your sky. Hey, I'm so high, I wanna fly across your sky.
I wanna fly across your sky. I wanna fly across your sky. I wanna fly across your sky. I wanna fly across your sky.
Cracking stuff, isn't it? That is Butterfly Girls, the brand new single. I think it's officially released tomorrow from Steve Carnivali, who goes under the name Carnivali, which is spelt Carnivali. And you can look for Carnivali on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, on Twitter. His previous single, Movie Town Girl, is a great video filmed in Zimbabwe, which you can find online. The brand new video for Butterfly Girls is going to be released tomorrow on YouTube. Look out for that. We do wish Steve well. He's such a nice guy, such a talented bloke, and let's hope he can have a worldwide smash with that.